The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Thursday morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, I'm Ed, and I got Carol with me this morning. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, and we got Pedro with us, but he's going to be quiet back in the background. He don't have all his equipment today and don't want people to hear his voiceover, so he'll be back there pushing buttons and stuff for us. So anyway, we do not have any interest groups today, so hey, look at that as an opportunity. Somebody that may want to start up a group, there's a time slot for you. The first Thursday of every month is empty. Again, through trying to figure out what kind of interest groups might work. Some of the groups that I thought wouldn't work are working, and some of them that I thought would work didn't work. So, but if you got a group that, you want to start up that's, outside of what we're already doing, you're more than welcome. I'm quite sure you're probably not the only person interested in whatever that is, but hey, come on in, check it out, set up a group, and let's find out. So anyway, you all good, Carol?
I am. I'm doing pretty good here on a Thursday. A little rainy here, the weather, but other than that, I know it's going to only get better.
Well, yeah, we looks like we got some pretty good weather for the next couple of days, so that makes it good for tomorrow. Traveling, going down there to do our NFB meeting, so I don't have to deal with rain and all that for being out there traveling with public transportation, right?
Right. That always is awkward, carrying the umbrella, carrying your cane, and whatever other devices you may have with you.
Right. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into these articles. So this first one is we done discovered we have a breeding ground for superbugs. So anyway, let's check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, we're talking about a new discovery that could affect our health and the environment. Scientists have found that tiny plastic particles called microplastics may help dangerous bacteria become resistant to antibiotics. These superbugs can be harder to treat and may spread more easily because of microplastics. Why microplastics are a problem? Microplastics are pieces of plastic smaller than 5 millimeters. They are everywhere, in the ocean, soil, and even the air we breathe. Researchers have found that bacteria can stick to these tiny plastic particles and form communities called biofilms. These biofilms make it easier for bacteria to share genes that help them resist antibiotics. What the research shows. Boston University study. Scientists discovered that bacteria living on microplastics became more resistant to antibiotics. Almost all the antibiotics tested were less effective against these bacteria. Environmental impact. In water environments, microplastics help spread antibiotic-resistant bacteria by providing surfaces for them to grow on. These plastic surfaces act like little boats, carrying harmful bacteria to new places where they can multiply and spread. Why this matters? When bacteria become resistant to antibiotics, it means common infections can become harder or even impossible to treat. Because microplastics are so widespread, they can transport these superbugs through rivers, oceans, soil, and even the air. This makes it difficult to control the spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. What can be done? Reducing plastic pollution could help slow down the spread of these dangerous bacteria. Cleaning up microplastics in our environment may be an important step to protecting our health. What do you think about the link between microplastics and antibiotic resistance? Let us know in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their comments.
Well, man, this is some dangerous stuff, but at the same time, it's showing, our, I guess you could say, our disregard for the planet, and all these plastic things. And, plastic, who would have ever thought that plastic would have, become such a big problem for us, and, and so on and so forth. And then with the I don't know what we want to say, the regulations on plastic. We got people, companies now. I just recently found out about this. They're actually taking and grinding up some of this plastic that they don't want to go into the landfill and mixing it with the asphalt, the blacktop. You know what I'm saying? And now as we drive over it, right, that stuff starts coming loose and becomes airborne and all. So the sad thing is, to me, this sounds like something that we created for ourselves. We created this breeding ground, and I don't know what we can do to get rid of it. We got to find a better way to do something with the plastic, recycle the plastic. I don't know. Stop using plastic. I don't know what the proper answer would be, but we can't afford to deal with these superbugs that are, becoming more and more resistant to the antibiotics. Because what is our only weapon against these things is antibiotics. So I don't know. I don't want to end up with another COVID situation or something, along those lines. It might be a different bug, a different strain, something. But COVID took out a lot of people, man, and I hate to see that happen. So anyway, what's your thoughts, Carol?
I think it's really scary that this is just out there. You're right. I recycle faithfully, but a lot of the plastic is not recyclable. And I don't want to walk around with a mask on. I didn't hear anything in the story saying anything other than, the antibiotics possibly being able to help, but not be able to really help with that. So wearing a mask on a daily basis all the time, every time you step outside, it's like we have to breathe to live. And for something to come inside of us that we have no control of and they have no answer for, it's scary, just with what's happening with our planet. We've got to do better. You're absolutely right.
Well, we definitely got to do a lot better than what we're doing right now. I don't know. I just think that, one of the best things we could do to recycle plastic is to truly recycle it by, collecting it, shredding it, grinding it down, whatever, because there's many, many, many different processes, right?
Right.
And then reuse that to make newer products, I got a little bit of experience when I was younger. My father worked at a plastics company and they made cups and flower pots and all that kind of stuff. And I know that like the rejects, right? When they come out of the injection mold machine, if it wasn't fully molded, and stuff like that, then they just take and throw them in a box, right? And then once that box gets full, well, granted that box was a pallet size, so but hey, when they got done with that, they take and break it up, grind it up, whatever, and then they would just mix it in with the newer plastic. When you're doing colors and stuff, then of course it's separated by colors, right? Unless you're making black, then it doesn't matter what color you throw in there, but
Right.
that was just part of the process, because not every, plastic cup, not every, nursery flower pot, whatever that comes out of that mold is going to be perfect. So there's always a lot of rejection. That was just always the process of what we did with the rejects. So, I mean, I just don't see why we couldn't do the same thing with, our recycled plastic, I mean, that's what they do with aluminum cans. I mean, it ain't like they just wash them out and refill them, right?
Right.
They break them down and melt them and make, aluminum ingots again. And then, it goes through that whole process. Why couldn't plastic be done on a similar thing? At least it makes sense to me, It would keep it from being within our environment. It would keep it from being out in, I mean, I think it's actually the plastic bags and the little, I don't even think they make those little plastic 6-pack holders no more, do they? That they used to hold the cans together and.
No, it's cardboard. Well, yes, on the soda cans. Is that what you're talking about? That comes
Well,
around?
they did it on soda cans, beer cans, whatever. They just had that plastic thing that you slide the cans into, and
Right.
like you say, you get a 4-pack, 6-pack, whatever, right?
Right.
But those are the kind of things, those and plastic bags and straws and stuff. That's what's killing us, our environment out in the ocean.
Right.
I mean, they talking about they got an island out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that's bigger than the state of Texas, just
Whoa.
plastic waste, So again, we got to do a better job with the plastic. Do I know what the answer is? No, I don't. I mean, I just think anything that you put on the fire, you know what I'm saying? Once you
Right.
remelt it, is whatever those toxins are that's in it, that fire generally gets rid of it. Now you're back to raw plastic that you can do what you want to do. Make something else out of it. I don't know. That's just my thought on it anyway. So.
It makes sense. I mean, like you say, those things are small and they should be able to just burn it away and maybe reuse it for something.
Well, I mean, rather than grinding it down and putting it in our blacktop, using it as filler, right?
Right.
Uh, uh, that's what I'm trying to get away from, because once they grind it down that small, now it becomes that micro organism that, now these other, bugs, these super bugs, they got that surface to get onto, right?
Right.
But when you take it and, just dump a whole bunch of water bottles, you know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong, you want to peel off the labels, you want to peel off the white cap or whatever the color of the cap is, separate this stuff by color, dump all the clear in one thing. And I mean, bottom line, just shred it, throw it in the vat and melt it and start all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I've literally, when I was driving truck, I've literally gone to, I can't remember where it was in Texas, Carol, but I used to go out there whenever I was coming back towards California. I would stop through there and pick up, 50-pound sacks of what they want to call raw plastic beads. So it's, it's just like little, like BBs, like you used to shoot a BB gun about that size, but
Right.
it's just plastic, and they were all clear, right, being raw. And then I'd bring that back to California, and then, if they were making some particular color or whatever, they put some dye in there and change it. So when it melted, it went to red or green or blue or, yellow or whatever the case may be, right? So, I mean, again, they do the same thing with bottles right now. I mean, you can't just take glass bottles and throw them all in one thing. They separate them, by tint, whether it's clear or green or brown, because you can't mix them. When they break them up and remelt them, they got to have that, they got to stay with their own color. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right.
I mean, again, it's not like this is a process that we're not already doing with other products. So, I mean, again, I just don't see what the issue, for me, it makes perfect sense unless somebody tells me something different. I'm going to hold on to that. I mean, take that recycled plastic, and I mean, a lot of people are doing what we would call alternative building materials. You can take all that plastic and make like 2x4s, to frame a house with,
True.
Stuff like that. If you want to make it even stronger than wood, put some, maybe a little steel rod in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Just to create that extra little bit of strength or whatever, I mean, it makes sense to me. It's going to be flexible, especially out here in California where we got these earthquakes. We need flexible building materials.
True.
So, but I don't know. There's got to be a better way than what we're doing right now, because again, our lack of concern for the planet, not all of us have that concern. Not all of us are that, into conservation and recycling and all that other kind of stuff. Some people just don't care, and they just throw stuff anywhere, right? They don't separate, fill up the black can. When they get full, then they start filling up the blue can, but it's all garbage. They don't care. They don't realize this stuff has got to be separated when it gets to the dump and all this kind of stuff, so create more work for everybody else. If everybody just, separate accordingly and recycle, and we'd definitely be a lot better off. So
I agree with you wholeheartedly. You're right. The dumps are just full of all of these plastic bags and, things that they could actually have jobs that are here in America, where there's a place where they can just do this full time, and it can be made into something with steel or what have you, to just save the planet. So I agree with you. I don't know the process either, but it's scary to look at if they don't do something soon.
Right. Well, right quick, Joyce says, good morning, my Blind United family. Welcome to Tariff Thursday.
Only George.
He's gonna slide his in there where he's gonna slide it in where he can. And Tisha says good morning. So good morning, Tisha. Good morning, George.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, she said, "Hey, now, everyone," just to be clear. So, anyway, let's go ahead and jump into these promos, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
All right, and well, look, a little quick note. I guess Custom Cane. For those that may not know, I don't know how you would if you listen to us regularly anyway. They support You Can Give, which is, I mean, they're both just Jimmy's foundation is You Can Give, but his original business when he was going through college was Custom Cane. But now Custom Cane, all purchases made in Custom Cane, all revenue goes to help fund You Can Give, where Jimmy goes out and gives canes to people in third world countries. He's in Ethiopia right now doing his duty, what he chose to do. And as a part of that, Blind United, no matter what we do, we will have collections for canes. So you come on out, whatever we're doing, crafting fair is coming up, we got some other stuff coming up later. But whatever, you bring a cane and get yourself into a drawing where you can win some gifts and prizes and stuff like that for helping somebody else out. So, all right, well, this next one is another one we're just kind of pointing the finger at, where, the other day yesterday we were talking about how, close to $100 billion is, being taken off the table by sending all of these illegal immigrants home, right? Well, this one here is just pointing the finger in another direction, where, they say they want to cut the budget, they want to make things more efficiently, all this stuff. Well, this has always been a big issue, the industrial war machine. So check this out and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, War, Wallets, and Washington, a closer look at U.S. military spending and foreign policy. From the skies over Gaza to the mountains of Yemen, recent months have seen a sharp escalation in military action, and with it, growing concern about how the United States funds, supports, and profits from war. These developments have reignited long-standing debates about America's role in global conflict, the ethics of defense spending, and who really benefits when bombs fall. Let's unpack what's happening and why it matters. Civilian casualties and global backlash. In March 2025, Israel launched a series of airstrikes across the Gaza Strip, breaking a fragile ceasefire that had held since January. The strikes, which Israel said targeted Hamas infrastructure, resulted in the deaths of more than 400 Palestinians, many of them women and children. International condemnation was swift, with human rights organizations calling the civilian toll unacceptable and demanding greater accountability. But the U.S. remained largely supportive of its ally, citing shared security interests and reaffirming its military assistance. Simultaneously, the U.S. escalated its own campaign in Yemen, launching airstrikes against Houthi rebel positions. As with Gaza, the strikes resulted in civilian deaths, including children. The Trump administration defended the actions as necessary to deter threats against U.S. allies in the region, but critics argue these operations lack transparency and accountability. Following the money, $895 billion and rising. These military campaigns don't just cost lives, they cost money. A lot of it. Since October 2023, the United States has provided over $18 billion in military aid to Israel. Meanwhile, the Pentagon's own budget for the last fiscal year reached a staggering $895 billion. That's nearly $1 trillion, yet the Department of Defense has failed to pass a financial audit for 7 years in a row. Despite this, congressional Republicans are pushing to increase defense spending by another $150 billion, even as they propose cutting social safety nets like Medicaid and food assistance. For many Americans, this raises a simple but profound question. Where are our priorities? $1 even as they propose cutting social safety nets like Medicaid and food assistance. Defense contractors and political profit. Much of the defense budget ends up in the hands of private contractors, major corporations like Raytheon, Boeing, and Lockheed Martin. These companies manufacture the weapons and technology used in global conflicts, and their profits soar during periods of heightened military activity. But that's not the whole story. These same companies also contribute heavily to political campaigns, particularly to members of Congress who sit on military oversight committees. In some cases, lawmakers or their spouses own stock in these firms, blurring the line between public service and private gain. It's a cycle that fuels both war and wealth, leading some to ask, are policy decisions driven by national interest or personal financial incentives? Legislative pushback. Ethics on the table. Recognizing the potential for abuse, lawmakers have introduced the Stop Politicians Profiting from War Act, aimed at curbing conflicts of interest. The proposed legislation would bar elected officials from profiting off defense contractor investments or campaign contributions tied to military decisions. Supporters argue it's a long overdue step toward accountability. Opponents call it unnecessary regulation. But either way, the bill is now part of a broader conversation about ethics, transparency, and the role of money in shaping America's foreign policy. A national debate worth having. These developments aren't just stories about far-off wars or budget spreadsheets. They reflect core questions about who we are as a nation. Should we fund bombs abroad while cutting benefits at home? Can we trust defense decisions when lawmakers stand to profit? What kind of legacy do we want to leave for future generations? Military strength and national security are vital, but so is ensuring that power isn't used recklessly or enriched by personal gain. What do you think? Are America's defense policies driven more by security concerns or corporate influence? Should lawmakers be banned from profiting off war-related decisions? And what reforms, if any, should be made to ensure accountability and ethical governance? Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Mute micro.
Yeah. Carol, what did you start of the article?
I mean, with the article, I really think that, that's something that we need to know about. I really didn't know that all of that money was being, spent on defense. It's just a
Welcome back in.
waste.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My thing is, for whatever reason, I lost my microphone. Thank you for coming in, Pedro. I mean, again, this is some crazy stuff. I mean, again, am I for cutting social safety net programs just to enrich the industrial war machine, these private corporations? No, I'm not. I mean, am I for adding another 100 and whatever billion to this thing? We're gonna turn their budget into $1 trillion. You know what I'm saying? That's I mean, we already invest more money than all the other countries combined. You know what I'm saying? Into our defenses and stuff like that. And then I've said this for years and years and years. I don't know if this stopped politicians from profiting on this. I don't know if that act is going to go anywhere. I doubt it. But I've said forever, we got to get money out of politics. We got to get money out of D.C. As long as these people are sitting up there profiting from this stuff, they're going to, what these corporations or whatever are giving them, they're going to continue to vote in that direction, and they're going to continue to profit from those insider, even though they don't want to say it, insider trading is, oh yeah, we're getting ready to come out with a new super bomb. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and buy some more stock in Lockheed. And, then they announce the bomb, the stock goes up, they get a contract, you know what I'm saying, with the government to build, 100,000 of those bombs at $1 million a piece. You know what I'm saying? It's a vicious cycle. And again, you're not there for profit. You're there for the people. You're not there for death. You're there for the people, right? So again, I mean, it's just my opinion. We got to get that money out of Washington. There's no reason in the world why I'm not saying that we should not have a defense. We definitely need a defense, but $1 trillion a year budget, nah, that just don't make sense. Not when you're talking about cutting social safety nets.
Start cam button. Mute micro.
Go ahead, Pedro. You want to say something?
Yeah. Well, and also, what program fell so bad on their audits and still gets money? They complain about Social Security and all the fraud in Social Security when a new report has come out that less than 1% of fraud is in Social Security. you know these people, this administration wants you to believe that we have people that are living at 200 years old receiving Social Security, but then want to put an extra billions and billions of dollars in the military industrial complex. That's what they're basically doing, and it's robbing the taxpayer because who has stake in those stocks? They do. They have insider trading. They always talk about Nancy Pelosi, but never talk about the people on the right that has all these stock investments. Yes, it's some centrist Democrats, but there's also Republicans in all that. And it's correct what you said, Ed. We need to get money out of politics. We need to stop having a revolving door. We need to stop having CEOs from Raytheon and and Blackwater going into the White House and making policies, and then we're over here scratching our heads, wondering why is these policies being enacted when we know we got to stop thinking are they thinking about us? No, the reason is they're thinking about their bottom line, their wallet, and the politicians are thinking about their stock and growing. And in the end, the American public, the citizens, get the short end of the stick, you know.
As usual. I mean, depending on, I mean, especially for the last few, decades and whatnot. I mean, well, I should say more than a few, but I don't know, maybe 50, 60 years ago, it just seemed like politics kind of changed and, it was on the down low, back then, but now it's just blatant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they might as well be standing up in the chamber with a Lockheed Martin hat on or whatever, a Raytheon hat, whatever. You might as well have a uniform on because you're just a talking head for them. You know what I'm saying? No, we got to get money out of politics, folks. That's the only way that the government is truly going to work for the people. That's the only way that we can head off us being, right quick, becoming the United Corporations of America instead of the United States. What are you going to say, Pedro?
Yeah, the United States corporation. Yeah. You know what they need to happen when these representatives about to vote and they're about to do all this? They need to have a patches on their jacket that says where's their stock at, where their money's coming from, and all those little company. They need to have all those little badges on their jacket. It needs to be announced too on the TV for us blind folks to listen.
So they need to be like the NASCAR drivers. They got all their sponsors on their suit when they come walking. All the stickers are on their car.
Yeah.
Showing everybody that's paying them for being there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And there used to be the full disclosure thing that I guess nobody's really paying attention to anymore. But bottom line, when they step in, whatever stocks and stuff they have, they're supposed to, while they're in office anyway, all that stuff is supposed to be turned over to an investment firm, and you are no longer supposedly allowed to dictate, your transactions, what stocks you want to buy, what stocks you want to sell, and in that way, your investment company manages your portfolio for you, right? But I mean, there's several of them. I mean, that's why they threw in the little thing there about, either the politician or family members, right? Because, oh, well, I can't do it, but hey, my brother Johnny over here, hey man, let me slide you a couple 100,000. You go get some stock over here. You know what I'm saying? Because with some stuff in to blow up, right? I mean, but that's how it works, and that's what we got to stop. We definitely got to get this money out of politics. We need to create on the other side of that, they say they need the money so they can run their campaigns and stuff like that. No. All we're doing is taking that money and doing what? We're giving it to legacy media, right? They're paying all this money for, campaign ads and all this other kind of stuff. No. You want to broadcast here in America, you got to donate X amount of commercial time during political season. You got to donate equal amount of time to whatever Republican, whatever Democrat, whatever, whoever's running. You know what I'm saying? Let's put an end to this, because that's another thing. They're getting kickbacks from some of this legacy media on the amount of money they get spent with them. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something about this, y'all. We really got to do something about this. This Pentagon budget is getting out of control. Again, we're talking about $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Come on, man. That's crazy. So anyway, I know you really didn't get a chance to speak on this, Carol. You want to say something, sweetie?
Oh, I just basically was saying that I didn't realize how much money is just being wasted. I'm not saying we don't need a lot of money for our defense, but make sure that you're spending it wisely. Don't be cutting the programs that we as the people here need, and be transparent about it. I believe as well what both of you were saying, they need to get the money out of politics and invest it in the programs that we need. We've got hungry kids, we've got homeless people, we've got a bunch of things that people need. And for defense to have all of this and fail audits, nobody else could really do that and continue to get money and spend money.
It is out of control. So right quick, Brother Paul, good morning, my brother. He jumped in and said good morning to everybody. And Katie Taylor says, this war machine never stops, and she wouldn't be surprised if we're at war with somebody before Trump gets out of office. I agree, Katie. I think we're on the verge of some kind of a war. I don't know how big it'll be, but I think we're on the verge of some kind of war. I just hope it doesn't end up being like a World War III situation. I really do. So, but on that note, again, we got to do something about this stuff. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. You know what I'm saying? As normal everyday Americans, of course, we can always, write our congressional reps, our Senate representatives in the Senate, and we can voice our opinion. We can, you can do that in an email. You can do that in a phone call, whatever. But bottom line, they need to hear our voices. Look, if you continue to vote to increase this defense budget, then I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that, you don't get reelected next time. That's what they're really concerned about, because without that power in the House and the Senate, where they have that power of their vote, they're worthless to these corporations. That's where they make their money at. If they don't hold on to that office, then they lose their income, their hustle, whatever you want to call it. So on that note, let's jump into these last couple promos, and then we'll close out with our last article.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. Did you know that people in third world countries do not have access to canes. The You Cane Give initiative gives canes to people all over the world who cannot get canes. The You Cane Give initiative not only goes to these countries and gives people canes, but they give people canes and a digital recorder that is solar powered, that has instructions on how to use the cane and instructions on how to repair the cane. The You Cane Give initiative is a very worthy cause, giving canes to blind people all over the world. If you have a cane that you're no longer using, or a cane that's broken or bent, you can go to youcanegive.org and get a shipping label, and you can ship your cane to Jimmy in Tennessee, and he will refurbish it and give your cane to a blind person in a third world country. That website again is youcanegive.org.
All right. Well, you can bring any of your canes. You can either go to youcanegive.org website, and you can get a label right there to send it to him, or you can bring it out to one of the Blind United events and hopefully win a prize for your donation of a cane. So anyway, this next one is another one of Mr. Elon Musk's brain children. It's an actual AI with attitude. So let's check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Hey, Coffee Time crew. Artificial intelligence just got a whole lot more opinionated. Meet Grok, the AI-powered assistant developed by Elon Musk's company, XAI, designed to be insightful, humorous, and a little rebellious. Launched in November 2023, Grok has undergone several major upgrades, pushing the boundaries of AI while also stirring up plenty of controversy. The evolution of Grok, smarter and sassier. Grok 1, November 2023, the first version introduced basic functionalities, offering a glimpse into Grok's witty and sometimes sarcastic personality. Grok 1.5, May 2024, expanded reasoning capabilities and an extended context length of 128,000 tokens, making conversations more coherent. Grok 2, August 2024, introduced image generation and major improvements in text and vision understanding. Grok 3, February 2025, the latest iteration, trained with 10 times more computing power, featuring advanced reasoning and new, think, and big brain modes for tackling complex topics. What can Grok do? Elected officials from profiting off defense available on X, formerly Twitter, web, iOS, and Android. Grok can answer user inquiries with insight and humor. Generate images based on text prompts. Analyze user-uploaded images for interpretation and feedback. Offer real-time responses, making it a direct competitor to models like GPT-4o. And the best part? As of February 2025, Grok is free for all users. Controversies and criticisms. Of course, no AI is without its issues, and Grok has had its fair share of concerns. Small blue diamond content moderation issues. Grok features sexy and unhinged modes, labeled 18+, but critics argue that there is no age verification despite the app having a 12+ rating. Small blue diamond political bias? Musk has positioned Grok as anti-woke and against cancel culture, claiming neutrality. However, some reports describe it as a MAGA version of ChatGPT, suggesting it leans in certain ideological directions. Small blue diamond safety risks. There have been alarming incidents where Grok provided dangerous or unethical advice, raising concerns about AI safety and regulation. The future of Grok. XAI has big plans, including potential integration into Tesla vehicles, making AI-assisted driving even more interactive. Whether Grok will continue to be a fun and useful tool or a source of controversy remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, it's pushing the AI conversation forward. What do you think? Would you use an AI assistant with a personality like Grok? Should AI have strong opinions, or should it remain completely neutral? Join the conversation and share your thoughts. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Well, I don't want an AI with personality. I mean, I'm sorry. I want to know that I'm still dealing with, a machine per se. I don't know if anybody ever seen that movie, Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams, but anyway, in there was some robots, and later on in the years, this one robot had personality. It was dancing and all. It just drove Robin Williams crazy. Even though Robin Williams was a robot, he was more logic than personality. But anyway, again, I don't want one with that. I don't want one that's leaning to the right. I don't want one that's going to try to, reshape my views and my opinions. I mean, just do what I ask you to do. That's, but man, this guy is something else. I mean, plus, I mean, where's it going right now? I don't think it's probably doing all that well. I mean, almost everything he's doing at this point is tanking simply because of, the chaos that he's causing, for other people. So anyway, I mean, it might be a good, strong model, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound like it's the one for me. I don't need sarcastic or humorous answers. I just want straight facts, So anyway, that's my take on it, Carol. What about yourself?
For myself, I do remember Bicentennial Man, and I too, I don't want anything to kind of influence me or uh, develop a personality. I want you to stay exactly what you are, either a computer, robot, or whatever it is. And creating all of this new stuff when you have things that are not up to par to begin with, fix what you already have out there instead of trying to create new things that can influence me or supposedly can be a person, but not a machine. I just want it to do exactly what I ask it to and leave it at that. It may work for some people, but for me, it would not. If I need to have a conversation that's sarcastic or opinionated, I can talk to a person.
Right, right. I mean, I agree. I don't need, I'm not looking for a companion. I'm not looking for none of that, So what you got, Pedro?
Several things, right?
Well, I chose this article for you anyway, so.
Yeah, several things. By the behavior of Elon Musk and what his role has been in X, right? He has silenced, canceled, and stopped freedom of speech in that platform before. He has liked and shared posts from a far right view, even sometimes liking some racist or Nazism type post. Um, and in my opinion, when they say sassy and all that, it's just cover words. Who wants an AI that thinks it's a comedian?
Right.
You know, um, but they just hide that. That's just what they do. They hide it in terminology. It's sassy. It's a comedic. It has its own type of view. No, that's just code word for look. We have set it up the way we like it, the views we like, and this is what it's gonna give you. Think about it. That's what they actually did. They didn't go reinvent the wheel. Okay, wow. It can generate images. Okay, something chap. Even Google's AI can do, even Nvidia's AI software platform online can do. Wow. Oh, they reinvent the wheel with that. Okay. Now they're trying to say, oh, well, it's sassy, it's anti-woke. I would like to know, and this is the question we should ask everybody on the right. What is woke? Give me the definition of woke.
Their definition, anyway.
Yeah, well, they taken over the word. The word already has kind of like a condency right there on the right. So, it's their definition, but it's proper not to use the word no more, I guess, because they're gonna be like, you see what I'm talking about? That's the woke mob over there. It gives them somewhere to point. And woke is just the word of a status of mind mentality. They take in the word woke and give it a definition that, oh, that's all the crybabies, that's all this, give it a negative connotation,
Anti-American.
yes. And it's not anti-American because they see they're anti-corporation and anti-billionaires or whatever, but that's anti-America. No, the anti-America is the billionaires that don't want to pay their fair share of taxes, want to pay the less money they can to workers, don't want to provide a living wage, and rather have their workers use public benefits, instead of them paying the workers a living wage. That's anti-American,
Yep,
Yeah.
you know. So
I agree.
so I just feel like this AI is more tailored, not well, kind of not to Mega. Mega has not found out yet what Elon Musk and Trump is really, because they will be against it. Mega was for freedom of speech, uh, less government oversight. But the way they're going, they're taking over programs that even the mega crowd likes, like
Mm.
Medicare, Social Security. The red
Snap.
states, yeah, SNAP. The red states use more of these resources than the blue states. And a new study and articles that we've been reading and also reviewing here in Coffee Time. So
But they
I
don't want
feel,
to be fact checked. They don't want to know that fact. When
No, they think it's the blue states.
they think it's us, in the blue states is doing this stuff. But yet when they sitting there on top of that mountain and can't run down to the corner and get no food because they didn't get their stuff, now they want to say something. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, like
it's just like we was talking about before. Some of these folks we know that are here per se illegally, right? And we got them. Well, he's coming to get you. Oh no, he's only going after the bad people, only after the people that broke the law. Well, if you're here illegally, you broke the law, so you put yourself in the position to be rounded up and taken back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, you can't support him on one side, right? And then when he does something that's going to hurt you, now you want to talk crazy about him.
well, yeah, you cannot support someone when you call yourself a patriot, a person of the Constitution, and you swear by the Constitution. You cannot support somebody like Elon Musk and Donald Trump when they have, like, for example, Trump has called for the suspension of the Constitution. That's not American. That's anti-American. Um, when the way I see that they're attacking these programs, they're attacking the poor class, is what they're attacking. The people that need it the most. Veterans,
Yes.
disabled veterans at that. 80,000 jobs lost since the beginning of the year. That's anti-American right there. Making your citizens pay more for products because of your egotistic mentality,
Right.
and thinking this can help, and and always blaming the last administration. you know
No.
it's something, it's anti-American. It's anti-American all the way through. And people on the right should start recognizing when you kick out NBC, CBS, and then call for their license to be revoked and suspended because you don't like the way they cover you. That's anti-American.
But don't forget now, you pull that back once they come in and drop that check on you.
Hmm.
Now
Mm.
they good again. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, and what happened? Look, for my people that are on the right, and always say George Soros is on the Democrats. He's buying everybody. He's paying people. He's paying all these people to come to my town hall. why you cannot look and see that Elon Musk is that George Soros on the right, and way more than the conspiratorial take some of these right people on the right take. Because the conspiracy is that George Soros backs up all these protests, and it's, you know what I mean?
It's
But
conspiratory, but yeah, I don't believe that he's sending these people to these Republican town halls.
no, he's
Period.
not. He's not. It's
I
not.
mean, it's the people that they say that they're for, but are actually being harmed by their actions that are showing up. You know, these are actually Republicans that are showing up.
Yep.
These are Republicans that are being hurt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this little thing where, you know,
It's a tactic.
Elon lost his ass in the Wisconsin election.
Mhm.
All that money he spent, but they did a thing. So when he was offering $1 million to a couple different people, right, for their vote, they did a thing. One of the guys that he gave a check to, talking about a setup. I mean, this guy is all the way Republican. He's part of the Republican. What is it? The INC, whatever it is. You know, the Republican Party thing,
RNC.
whatever. Yeah, he's
Caucus?
part of that. He's a student of, he's just a big time Republican leader, party leader, and in all of these younger Republican things. And then, he wasn't a random thing. They gave this man $1 million because of the work he's already put in to further the, for
No,
the
no, not the
Republican
work.
Party.
No, no, no. Let's call it for what it is. It's buying votes. That man went around to find people to vote for that judge for Elon Musk. They were buying votes. Elon Musk made a check out to this citizen for his so-called, let's put it in parentheses, work.
Work,
But it was
efforts, whatever
buying
you want to call
votes.
it. But bottom line, he was chosen. It ain't like he was a random pick. You know what
Of
I'm
course.
saying?
Right.
It ain't like this guy hit the lottery. You know what I'm saying? So no, it's some really, really sad, shady stuff going on.
You know, but
We really got to do something about this
but
stuff.
when it comes to the AI, right? Now let's bring it full circle. All right. They talk about we don't want influence, the news, the fake news, the way they attack Trump, and the way they attack people on the right, or they attack Christians, or the way the excuse they always use, they're attacking us is what they're doing, right?
Is it because it's better to play the victim than it is the
Well,
aggressor?
Well, yeah, but remember them victim blaming? Why you always want to become the victim? That was their line. Now they're using it. Now they're the snowflakes because they want their safe space. Look, Brock AI is their safe space where they can go and open quotes, have a comedian AI close quote, or a open quote sassy close quote AI. You know what these words really mean? What are these words are alluding to? They're gonna give you a point of view that you might not like, but look at it as comedy or sassy AI. So don't complain about it. Basically, is what they're trying to tell you. And that's the excuse they're gonna give you. Well, it's kind of like a sassy comedian, opinionated AI.
I hear you. I agree. Now they got their own AI. They got their own, a couple different ones now. I know they got X, they got Truth, and then there's another one that's out there that a lot of them are signed up on, But something that I was thinking about when the article was playing, they talking about using this Brock in Tesla as far as, something to do with the self-driving mode, right? I wondered, is it possible to have a racist car? Where if it sees a black person or whatever, a brown-skinned person, does it just take off and try to run them over or what?
Wow.
Well, it's a great question.
Never know.
The AI is as good as the data has been trained. The AI
Right.
also can create a bias on the data it's been fed. So if you feed it nothing but right wing or racist ideology, the AI will get
Respond.
information from there and respond to you in their type of way. You know what I mean? So it can be a bias, it can be a racist. You know what I mean? Because we're training these large language models.
So can you imagine what was that little horn that they had on the General Lee in a TV show? I forget what it was, but it was some Confederate fight song, right? Can you imagine a Tesla automatically start playing that tone, that song, and then start charging towards, crowds of black and brown people?
Wow.
And you know, they were asking Elon Musk, so when is the self-driving car it's gonna come? And he was like, it's coming, it's already gonna be coming maybe in the end of the year. Everybody keeps forgetting, for the last 3 to 4 years, Waymo has been doing this. So it's not no groundbreaking new type of technology, only because he's gonna do it. Waymo's been doing it successfully, and I've been in a couple.
Not only in cars, but they're doing it in trucks as well. So,
yep,
they gathering all kind of data. So again, Trump is, Musk in this case. You know what I'm saying? They just playing that role. I mean, the problem is, man, it'd be great if we could go buy the Waymo program and have it in whatever car we wanted. That'd be great. But to my knowledge, Waymo is not selling cars. And so that's why I guess the focus is on Tesla, because of course he is selling cars. So anyway, on that note, we are at the end of our time for the day. Please remember, we will not be here tomorrow. So we won't see you again until Monday. But as always, please like, subscribe, share, follow, hit that notification bell, subscribe. Whatever it is on whatever platform that you can do, please do it all. It all helps. So on that note, everybody enjoy the rest of your, as my brother George said a little earlier, your Tariff Thursday. And hopefully we can afford to get back on the air on Monday. So everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you on the next one.